Yo, what's up guys, this is Happy with another Guild Wars 2 PvP video, and this time with the Healbreaker, a pre-recorded video where I will just do the after commentary and commentate what I was doing and how I did it. Now I had to play quite a lot of games, and this is like the 6th game with it, or 7th, and I was not so satisfied because the games were really one-sided always. And I thought this one would be a little bit better to show you how exactly can a Healbreaker be the MVP of the game and do a lot of work here. First I started with Warhorn 4 to my nearby allies so they will gain all swiftness. I used here Warhorn 5, which I should have not used, but yeah. You will see it here now. Why? Because Warhorn 4 and 5 can be used here on Black Powder, so you can get AoE stealth because both of them are blast finishers. That's just by the way. Yeah, you should always open up with the team, do the team fighting. You can also just tank around a little bit, as I was doing here, just holding the node a little bit, watching what the enemy players are trying to do, interrupting the enemy Healbreaker, trying to be as annoying as possible. And you can see it here already, he just dropped down under 50% HP. And now my goal is just to try and kite a little bit around, watch my allies who needs help. And this Holosmith was really not able to kite or sustain even a little bit. I had really rough time on this game to just support him. And as you can see it here, you should also leave the node when your ally needs support. You just have to jump on them and help them out, and that's why you need the little taskbar here. And you can see it here, I'm still able to hold my Holosmith up for such a long duration, even though it's really difficult. And my goal now is just to try and interrupt the enemy players a little bit, be annoying as possible. And you can see it here, he just makes it out safely. I used my healing skill here just to go sure that my Holosmith does not die. Otherwise I would have not used it. I use here my banner and grab it, because you can see it here, the cooldown is 170. If you grab it, you will get minus 60 seconds cooldown on your banner, and you should always try and do that, because the banner gives boons, but it is better if you have a short cooldown on it, so you can use it more often. I heal my ally here again up. It's the thief this time, and now my Holosmith was always somewhere where he's not supposed to be. And yeah, what's going on here? Yeah, my Holosmith died here for the first time. I have to leave far and try to get him a little bit closer, and my entire team just gets wiped here because of the freaking Burn Guardian, and I'm not able to do anything here. I wanted to try and fake a revive here and get away so I can hold people off point here, but that was not so great. And as you can see here, the only one alive is me and my thief, and I just have to hold here a little bit until my allies arrive. My thief joining me here is a good decision because he can't do anything on the other caps, and we can just try to get some damage output against the enemy DH here. I try to hold the node again here, and for whatever reason, it's either lag or whatsoever, I was staying on the node and he just got still ticks on it, which was really weird. From here on we lose the cap, I guess, yeah, because of this stupid bug that just made me be not available on the node for whatever reason. And here, really interesting, I wait for the thief in case that he steals on me before I use my shield, and then what I have to do is just kite around a little bit while my renegade just caps the node. And you can see here the enemy thief fighting a bunker renegade makes no sense. I wanted to reveal him, but I was not able to catch him. So we get the full cap on 2 nodes, and from here on my goal will be just to try and interrupt the enemy players. I interrupt the warrior, but the freaking DH just gets away with it somehow. AoE Condi cleanse on a symbol. When you use Warhorn 5, you will remove 2 conditions, grant the barrier and blast finisher, which means on a lightning field you will do AoE Condi cleanse. I, for whatever reason, had the warrior Spellbreaker still on my target list, so that's why I jump here. My Holosmith died again on a 1v1, which was not so great. And here we have 3v1, 3v2 now, 3v3 already. Yeah, the enemy thief joins here as well. And as you can see it here, he's permanently revealed by my shout, and that's just really annoying for everyone. I use here my full counter to get the enemy renegade, and he will also die here because he's just staying also on a lot of damage. From here on I can move on. My renegade can get the full cap. The enemies are decapping all our nodes, which is fine in this case, because we are always a little bit slow with rotations. My holosmith is getting close, mid. That's fine. I wanted to go sure that he will get it somehow, and now I see two people joining him here. I need to support him. I let him here alone against the enemy DH because I thought he could be able to win this, but then I see again the renegade joining here, and I just need to hold the node while my holosmith can just disengage a little bit, and he gets already caught by stuns, which is not so great. I have to again use my healing skill, my other shout here, just to support him, Condi cleanse, but he's, I don't know, he was able to survive this for a little bit, and you can see this burning is so freaking annoying. What I'm doing is still good because I was holding the node, but now I can leave because I can see it. My allies will also need some support, and I'm here able to catch the mesmer, I guess, if I remember correctly. He will use his portal. I'm gonna be here stunning him, not stunning him, wow, but still waiting for him. Maybe we could have still catched him here, and we get a nice kill here, and then we can move on again. I see that this guy's going close, but I don't want it to go close because it would be a time waste, and instead decided to go far. And you can see it here, close, Guardian versus Guardian. This should be possibly a doable 1v1 here. I wanted the thief to go close, so I can just support far. Enemy thief spiking me for whatever reason. And here on you can just see what you can do if you try and interrupt enemy warrior. Okay, he just gets me as well. I don't know why the guy did not get his elite skill up. I waited a little bit too long with my shield, so he got his healing skill up. And yeah, we're just wasting a little bit too much time, but we get at the end the kill here. I stole the boons with my F1 ability quite often. I go for the stomp here just to go sure, because the renegade can hold meanwhile the point. And as you can see it here, as always, just keep on moving, don't stay at one point. I wanted to catch the thief, but I was not able to. I just wanted to reveal him. I wait with my reveal because no need to, only if he tries to get the stealth, where he will need to use blinding powder, but I guess he was not playing with it. And now I reveal him so he can stealth up, no matter if he steals or something like that. And this just gives an opportunity to my allies, which means they won't get spiked so easily if a thief can't stealth up. Now he's just stealthing up, but I see that 3 of my allies are here. We will get the full cap, and I just need to move on. Meanwhile, my renegade gets outnumbered, but he still gets the full cap somehow. Really nice. Probably the mesmer just stealthed up both of their allies. My renegade was doing a great job here, surviving, until I come back to heal him up. I cleanse here immediately with Shake It Off because the elite trap just interrupts all my allies. Trying to steal some boons, I'm not able to. I'm going on top here just to stay alive for myself, and the renegade is just holding the node, so that also just fine. I don't need to stay there on AoE spam. Stealing boons on the enemy renegade, and as you can see it here, he has no stability or protection, so my allies were able to deal a little bit more damage, even though they were not able to get him properly. But we were still able to get a kill here. And then, is the enemy Spellbreaker here? No, he's not. Okay. A nice stun onto the DH. Going for some other CC, and we get this here as well. Now my holosmith stays here. My guardian was winning the 1v1 on mid, which is also pretty nice. I don't know against what he was fighting. Yeah, it was just nice. Then I'm seeing that my holosmith needed some help against the thief. I just go back to heal him up, and he was also able to secure the kill onto the enemy thief, which was really good. That was the best thing that my holosmith did here. Not that he was really bad, but he should have tried to disengage a little bit more often. I tried to decap the node in case, but I see that the mesmer was here. Then I was just leaving it because I can't decap against mesmer, especially Chrono. He can just tank me forever. I have no damage. And meanwhile, my holosmith is dead again. That's what I mean. Just I don't want to complain about people, but if you get in a difficult situation, just disengage. Use your elixir, port up, run away, and stuff like that. Here we go again. ICC. I steal boons, and just keep on repeating that. heal my allies up, grant them might so they deal more damage, and just hold the node here as long as possible capped. In this 1v2 situation it is pretty easy because the enemy renegade was dealing not so much damage, and now that the enemy DH, I want to say, what's his name, renegade, I wanted to hold against the renegade, but now when I see I'm low on cooldowns I just have to leave, and I just somehow make it here, even though it was really difficult to get away here. I'm just able to get it because my mobility is great and the enemy DH is just strong if he can get me onto certain points there, but I'm still able to get away. My thief does a great job here stealthing me up, otherwise I would have died. But from here on I'm safe again because I have my full counter. Some of my shouts are getting up again, and what I have to do is just kite around a little bit. You can see this here by going backwards, moving sidewards and stuff like that. You can just do quite a lot of work. I keep on revealing the enemy thief, but my team was not, how to say it, focusing the right target. But it was still great because we can get here the enemy Spellbreaker. I hate it when they trigger freaking full counter. But that's fine. As long as we keep the enemy Spellbreaker out of the game, they will not get healing. And what the enemy Spellbreaker had to do is just heal himself up instead of his allies, and then his allies are weak to us. Okay, my team losing 2v2. And again, a really difficult situation. I get interrupted by the enemy renegade, which was really nice. And I can see it here from here on. I can't revive this guy, so I can try to get the other guy. And since the enemies were not focusing me, which is also, by the way, really easy to interrupt banner, I was also considering not to use it, but still it is the best choice. If you want to carry a game with a good banner, you can do quite a lot of work. And I see from here on my guy got killed on close, my renegade, and I need to help far a little bit, maybe to get the decap against the enemy mesmer with my thief. And I'm able to get some nice CC, and we also were able to get the kill onto this guy. I go for the stomp here, not to waste time or to giving the enemy Spellbreaker a choice to get a stomp banner here onto this guy. That would have been really, really awful. I used my Shake It Off to heal my thief up here, but that was not working how I wanted. And you can see it here, I got speared by the enemy DH, but he did not try to interrupt my healing skill, which was not such a great choice. And from here on I just have to play a little bit around, don't engage too early, trying to hold off the node so they don't get the full cap. And you can see this here, this is the bad thing about the DH guys, which I can just say it like all the times. He just deals damage if you stay on the node, on symbols, on the spirit sword, and otherwise DH is just, yeah, not viable at all. And here we go, you can see something really interesting. I just immobilize this guy and keep him here up so he gets killed by the, what's the name of it, by the Skyhammer attack. And I just made it on my own almost to get the kill here. The thief helped me out a little bit. And as you can see it here, the enemies were not able to get the node while I was just cutting around a little bit without cooldowns. With cooldowns I would have just stayed there and tanked them forever. But yeah, you should do it like this. And as you can see it here, 527k healing. I got top stat kills as well, and that's pretty nice. Top stat revives because of my banner, otherwise I was not able to get anything else going on. And this is the build and how you should play it, and how you should also just try to kite around a little bit, go backwards, turn around, try to bait some attacks from the enemy players. As I said, against the enemy thief, he was using his signet and I was expecting him to steal, so I didn't use my shield. So I waited 1 second, he did not steal, which meant for me he should not have it, because most of the thieves just spam it immediately. And I just kept my shield 5 and I was able to get away out of that difficult situation. And for whatever reason I got top stat kills together with the Guardian, okay? Top stat healing is of course the stat that you should always try to get. And now for the build, Mander Amulet with Rune of the Soldier. This is pretty interesting, and also that you have to notice. You will get more vitality and some extra toughness. And in addition to that, remove a condition from each affected ally after using a shout skill, which means all your shout skills will remove one condition, and that's what makes this build even greater. And you have another optional rune that you can use, which is Rune of the Speed, or Speed Rune. And that will not give you more Condi cleanse for your allies, but more survivability for your own, because you will have perma swiftness and you can just kite around even harder. But I recommend this one here because it is much stronger in team fights, and you don't really need the speed rune if you know how to keep up your utility skills, your shouts up to heal yourself up and not get caught in a difficult situation. Then Sigil of Absorption, each time when we interrupt an enemy player while having dagger shield up, which means dagger 3, shield 4 and full counter, you will be stealing a boon every 3 seconds, but still that's pretty nice to have. And then I'm using here Sigil of Energy. It makes not so much sense when you swap weapons too early, but still it will give you in some situations extra dodges, which means extra survivability. And same goes here for the Sword Warhorn, Energy and Cleansing, extra Condi cleanse, extra dodges, pretty nice combo here. Then you get with Tactics, Discipline and Spellbreaker. The first one being Soldier's Comfort. Soldier's Focus heals affected allies, which means, I don't know if it is, if you hit your F1 ability or something like that, you will activate this Soldier's Focus, and this will also be affected to nearby allies instead of only on yourself, and it will just heal them up for 1770, which is pretty nice, especially in team fights. Then Empower Allies, increase power for nearby allies, and Soldier's Focus gains increased radius, which means instead of like 300 radius or 450, it will get a 600 radius, and it will trigger every 3 seconds, which means nearby allies will have the healing more frequent and also in a larger area. And in addition to that, they will have 100 more power, which means a little bit more damage output. Yeah, only in combat only, of course. Vigorous Shouts. Shout skills gain reduced recharge and heal allies gain healing power based on your power. And yeah, shouts gain reduced recharge by 20%, and we are using 4 shout skills, so that's pretty nice. Healing, Condi cleanse, and reduced cooldown. Warrior Sprint, to run faster while wielding melee weapons and deal increased damage while you have swiftness. Movement skills break immobilization when used, which means dagger 2, sword 2, and yeah, those 2 will remove immobilize. And in addition to that, you don't even need the swiftness because you will have perma faster movement speed with this build like this. Then on weapon swap, every 4 seconds you will remove 1 condition while in combat. Burst Mastery, burst skills deal more damage, grant swiftness and restore a portion of adrenaline spent. This is just basically to have your adrenaline bar always up, so you can use your F1 abilities more often. And yeah, that's about it. Then on Spellbreaker, guard counter, when your full counter procs, you will grant yourself 3 seconds of protection, and in addition to that, resistance, which you will see on another trait line later on. This is pretty nice. It makes you sustain a little bit longer against DPS. Slow counter, full counter applies cripple and slow. This is also pretty nice, so you can just interrupt enemies from chasing your allies properly. With the cripple, they walk slower. And with the slow, their attacks are going to be slower, which also affects skills when you use like a banner or something. When you have slow, instead of those 2 seconds activation time, you will have 3-4 seconds until you get the banner up. And in that time, you can just interrupt enemy players pretty hard. Revenge counter, full counter deals additional damage, which is not so great, but still good to have, I will say, and grants you 2 seconds of resistance, which allows you, even though you have no cooldowns, allows you to just get away from immobilize, and that's just pretty perfect, especially against druids or I don't know, classes that can just immobilize you permanently and stuff like that. You're just going to be able to get away. And in addition to that, you will copy 3 of your conditions to enemy players. And that's like the best thing here, especially against those burn D8s. I had one guy, he applied like 9 stacks of burning on me, and I was waiting with my shouts to cleanse that. I just used my full counter and he had immediately 9 stacks of burning, and he just almost killed himself. He had to use his elite skill immediately to survive. And then I just cleansed the burning, and that was just pretty easy. And that's what makes this build even more annoying than ever, I would say. that's just basically it. Now I will show you also some combos. I just have to go 5 seconds forward. I'm going to try and explain you here a few things. What you have to know: to the limit, the healing skill, short cooldown, awesome healing. It gives you over 10k healing, or even 11-12k almost. And in addition to that, you will gain your adrenaline bar boosted by 30, and you will gain full endurance bars, which means you should try and use this healing skill once you have no dodges left. But still, you can't say that you should only use it like that, because you can also just use it to heal your allies, which I did in this video, and that's also a good purpose to use it. This is the one healing skill that you should, by the way, also always use, because the healing is so great. It makes you sustain longer, and in addition to that, extra dodges, extra F1, and then what else? Condi cleanse, of course, with this rune. Then for great justice, healing gives fury to allies and might, which means they will deal more damage, and it has also short cooldown. Pretty nice skill overall in team fights. Shake It Off is the skill that you should try and keep the longest. It has also the longest cooldown, and it is the strongest of them all. It will give healing, and it will remove conditions, and it is a stun break twice for you. So that's your lifesaver, how to say it. That's like the best way to say it. I used it on my thief, but he was not having no cooldown, so I cleansed him completely, but he had like 1-2k HP, and then he still died. So that will not always save the life of your allies, but still can be really helpful in team fights to just cleanse for them a little bit condis if they have a lot of them. And in addition to that, it just not will remove 4 conditions, but with the rune 1 more. So twice 5 condition removal, stun break, and twice healing. Keep that in mind. Then on my mark, call out a target foe to make them vulnerable. This skill is pretty strong, especially if your allies are focusing one guy. You can just use it to heal your allies. Apply for 6 seconds 15 stacks of vulnerability, which means a 50% damage bonus to all your allies on that target. And the best thing here is the enemy will get revealed for 6 seconds. This is especially strong against those D8s who are playing Trapper Rune, and of course against the Thief. As you saw, the Thief, he just joined a 2v2 or 3v3, and he was not able to spike because he was revealed. No stealth, no backstab, and that's just pretty nice. No matter if he steals or something like that, Daredevil will have no ability to re-stealth while he's revealed. And the best thing here is, by the way, 1200 range, and it is unblockable. So try to use this onto enemy players as much as possible, especially also in team fights. Even if you have a downed guy, use it on this guy, because he will get revealed and the enemies can stealth him up. Then the last thing, battle standard, the banner. It will just revive or stomp an enemy or revive an ally. And while it is, activated, it will just give fury, might, and swiftness to nearby allies. But the best thing to do is just grab the banner immediately. So you will have a minus 60 seconds duration on the banner, which means only 2 minutes cooldown. It is still a long time, but it is better when you do that. And you can see it here, revive targets 5, which means if you will have like a total chaos and 4 of your allies die, you can just revive all of them with this immediately. But you have to keep notice that this banner can get interrupted pretty easily. That's why I'm not such a big fan of it. Probably if I will use like some stability instead of on my mark, I will just love the banner. Otherwise, it's just really weak. Here I show you again the healing skill. Gives you adrenaline, double dodges, and that's just pretty perfect. Sword 2 to leap around, and yeah, also dagger 2 to leap around. Then charge can be used at the beginning of the fight to give allies swiftness so they can get fast on the points. And also keep notice that your allies will have for 8 seconds 10% damage boost, and in addition to that, this skill will also remove cripple, chill, and immobilize. That's also pretty strong in team fights, and it is a blast finisher, so if an ally has a light field, you will get area condi cleanse, water field, area healing, fire field, area might, and so on and so on. Who knows what I was thinking when I was showing the skill. I was talking a lot more, I guess. Call of Valor. This is the strongest skill on your Warhorn, and one of the skills that you should use with the best timing, I would say, but also you can just use it in team fights. Also early in the game, it will give almost 4k barrier, vigor to allies, and it will remove 2 conditions. That's pretty nice. And in addition to that, blast finisher, which means AoE, Condi cleanse, AoE stealth, and so on and so on. They updated it because Warhorn 4 did not used to be a blast finisher, it was just a normal skill. But now twice blast finisher might be really strong here. You can see it here, barrier. It is not a healing but barrier, and barrier can be used also in max HP. Then Aura Slicer, Dagger 2, really important. Try to get this skill on an enemy player because the slow is almost 1.5 seconds, which means again, skills and actions are slower. A banner will be used slower, or a healing skill, a lead skill, and that can be really deadly. And in addition to that, it is a leap finisher on symbols from a nearby ally. You can just get light aura, fire aura, and so on and so on. Then Disrupting Stab, one of the best skills on Spellbreaker. Short activation time, it just does immediately attack, and while an enemy is using an attack or a healing skill or something, it will have 1 second days instead of this 1/4 or half a second or something like that. That's pretty strong. Try to use your CCs because you will steal boons with it, and each time you CC with the Spellbreaker trait lines, you will remove 1 boon, and in addition to that, with your Rune of Absorption, you will get all 3 seconds stealing a boon from the enemy players, which will be even better. And you have here Shield Bash as well, removes Immobilize, I forgot to mention that by the way, and 2 second stun, and it is a leap finisher, so again, light aura, fire aura, and so on. Then same goes with Breaching Strike, it will remove 3 boons, especially as you saw against the Renegade. Removing boons from a Renegade is protection, stability, and stuff like that, makes them really vulnerable, and your allies can deal damage. Try to always land this ability, it is pretty strong. It is also a leap finisher, and the best thing here is unblockable, and it will remove Immobilize from you, and that's just pretty strong. I also used it against the enemy Healbreaker, and I was able to outplay him quite a bit with this. Yeah. Then Full Counter, you're also one of the survivability best skills ever. You will copy 3 of your conditions onto enemy players which you hit, and this attack is unblockable, so you can hit multiple targets. The damage is not so great, but the good thing here is you will get 2 seconds stability and 2 seconds resistance. In addition to that, the protection, and with the build, how you play it like this, you apply cripple and slow, grant yourself swiftness, daze enemy players for 2 seconds because it is unblockable, which makes it so annoying. And yeah, great skill overall. Try to use it as much as possible in team fights, AoE stun, yeah, AoE resistance on yourself, just pretty nice. And here I was just showing you a little bit how you should do it here. Sword 2, then you can dodge back, kite around a little bit, go sidewards, use Dagger 2, use your swiftness, try to just kite around, dodge a little bit, and then just with Sword 2 leap out and just get away out of combat, heal your allies up again, get back when you have shouts ready again, and yeah, just repeat this process as you saw in this video. Hope you enjoyed it, and you can see it here. Something also really interesting: while you use your banner, keep on moving, don't stay at one point. Try to get out of combat a little bit and then go back in if you think the banner will not land where you want it. I have now instant cast, so it will just cast it wherever I put my cursor on the first time, so I can just freely walk around and just activate it. And the activation time is a little bit longer, so you have to keep in mind it will get interrupted against good players quite often. You can see it here, 2 seconds activation time, and if I would have got slow, it will have 4 seconds. And that was it, guys. Now I hope you enjoyed this video. That was the Healbreaker. Yeah, everything of what I was able to show, I showed you here. Try to be annoying, CC enemy players. You're not there just to heal, but CC, stun, steal boons, slow down enemy players, and help your allies with it. And that was it now. As always, 3 of my other videos which you can watch or not, and of course keep on subscribing my YouTube channel. We almost have 9k subscribers. That's pretty awesome. I love you all, guys, as always. Feel free to ask me in-game or on this video, and I see you in my next videos. That was Happy Bro with the Healbreaker. Bye bye, guys.